Between independence in 1960 and the return to civilian rule in 1979, Nigeria was governed by the military for most of the period following the chaos of the First Republic. After the January 1966 coup, General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi ruled as Supreme Commander. He abolished the regions through Decree No. 34 and imposed a unitary structure. This alarmed northern officers and leaders who feared Igbo domination. On July 29, 1966, northern officers staged a counter-coup. Ironsi was killed. Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon emerged as the new military head of state. Gowon was a Christian northerner from the Middle Belt, a compromise figure. The most traumatic event in Nigerian history. Following the counter-coup, thousands of Igbo living in the north were killed in pogroms. Mass migrations occurred. The military governor of the eastern region, Colonel Odumogu Ojoku, demanded confederation. When negotiations failed, on May 30, 1967, Ojoku declared the independent Republic of Biafra. The federal government fought to reunite the country. The civil war lasted 30 months. January 1970, Biafra surrendered. Estimated 1 million to 3 million Biafrans died, many from starvation. Gowon's policy, no victor, no vanquished, the 3 Rs, reconciliation, rehabilitation, reconstruction. Gowon created 12 states in 1967 to break up the regions and reduce the power of the 3 dominant ethnic groups. The oil boom of the early 1970s brought massive revenue. Nigeria became an oil-producing state of regional significance. However, by 1975 Gowon's government was plagued by corruption, failure to return to civilian rule as promised, and inefficiency. On July 29, 1975, while Gowon was at an OAU summit, he was removed in a bloodless coup by Murtala Muhammad and Olusegun Obasanjo. Murtala Muhammad was energetic and popular. He reduced the federal bureaucracy, dismissed corrupt officials, and announced a program to return to civilian rule. He was assassinated in an abortive coup attempt on February 13, 1976. His deputy, General Olusegun Obasanjo, succeeded him and honored the transition program. The 1979 Constitution was drafted, based on the American presidential model. The Constituent Assembly debated and approved the Constitution. Elections were conducted in 1979 and Shehu Shagori of the NPN won the presidency. Military justifications for intervention, corruption and electoral fraud of the civilian government, threat to national unity, regional instability. Long-term consequences. The military became accustomed to political power, soldiers learned that they could remove unpopular leaders, democratic institutions were weakened by repeated interruptions. Positive. Some military regimes built infrastructure, expanded education, free primary education under Gowon, created more states to reduce ethnic tensions. Negative. Militarized culture, corruption, human rights abuses. Military rule 1966 to 1979. January 1966 coup, Ironsi, counter-coup July 1966, Gowon replaced Ironsi. Civil War 1967 to 1970, Biafran secession, 1 to 3 million died, no victor no vanquished. Gowon, 12 states 1967, oil boom, removed 1975. Murtala, reforms, assassinated February 1976. Obasanjo, completed transition, 1979 presidential constitution adopted, Shagori elected. Legacy, weakened democracy, military culture, mixed infrastructure record. This is Light Tech Academy, quality education for every Nigerian student.